request and try to save me money too, and I don't know if I can do that, but I will try to give you some wisdom. A few years ago, as a new father, I began a common ritual of reading bedtime stories to my daughter Ananda. Sometimes it was about a very greedy and obese caterpillar. Other times it was about saying goodnight to everything you could find in a room, whether it was mittens, kittens, cows jumping over a moon, or the moon itself. One of the books I fell in love with was a Dr. Seuss book called All the Places You'll Go, and conveniently it's often referenced in graduation speeches. I'll never forget the first time I read this book with my daughter Ananda. As I'm reading this book to her, I'm filled with such hope, such pride, and such a positive spirit as I'm reading. It says things like, you're off to great places. You'll have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. There's nothing negative in this book so far. I'm loving it. And I'm filled with pride and awe and just almost want to tear up because I'm just so happy that my daughter is going to be excellent in everything she does. She's going to be stupendous in everything. What a feel-good story. It's like a Barney episode. No tears. No sadness. Just happiness. The picture in this book at this time is this little guy in a balloon. And he's leaving everybody behind him. He's in this one balloon and all the other ballooners are behind him. And it says this. It says, you won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest. Yes! Yes! That's going to be my daughter. Now, knowing what I know now, I would have not turned the page. I would have not turned the page. When I turned the page, I was shocked at what I saw. I had to ask my wife, honey, did you buy this book when we went to Beijing? Is this one of these counterfeit books that just didn't have the entire thing? And, she assured me, she said, no, I got it from a reputable dealer. We didn't pirate this one.
Oh my God.
I wanted to throw the book out the window. Because the next thing this book said, after it just said, wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best, you'll top all the rest, the very next thing it said is sometimes you won't. Sometimes you won't. I was livid. I was upset. We're supposed to get A's, not F's. We're not supposed to ever fail. But that's what Dr. Seuss was telling me. Yes, it says, I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun, because unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked, some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. Now you ask me to give you some wisdom. Please don't fire me for what I'm about to say. But if you want to be successful in life, embrace failure. Learn to fail. Now, I know this is graduation, it's all about achievement, and I don't mean to kill the mood, I'm sorry. But learn to fail. For 12 years, you've been told to succeed, nothing but success. Failure is not an option. Don't come home with anything but A's. Around midterm this year, several of my students began to see their parents and the counselors about switching out of my class because I began to be a little bit more accountable in how I graded. I shared with my students that an A means you have mastered the content, not just that you show up on most days and try. Just because you signed LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh doesn't guarantee you an NBA championship, as we're finding out right now. We've been inundated with winning without putting in effort. Just for trying, we should win. So today, let's have a paradigm shift. Let's shift the way we look at things. Many different statistics and many people's life experience will show us that we are going to fail. We're going to be fired from jobs. Sorry, it's true. Some of our relationships and our marriages will fail. A business or a career we start may fail. It may be simple as a recipe that we try, we might burn it. We're going to fail in the classes we take. A joke that we thought would go over well Sometimes we'll fail to get the promotion. We'll misinterpret what somebody says or writes in an email and respond in a way that embarrasses themselves. Sometimes we'll just fail to do our best on any given day. The shoe company Nike, whether or not you agree with their labor practices, produces some of the best marketing I've ever seen. Sometimes they don't even show the sneakers, and the commercials just make you want to go buy the product because their advertising is that good. I recall a commercial back in 1996 when Michael Jordan was fresh off of his first retirement. Favorite commercial of all time. He's walking into the arena. He's passing paparazzi. He's passing media. He's passing fans, security. He's passing custodial workers. He's entering the locker room. And as he's entering, you don't hear him say a word, but you hear his thoughts. And he says, I've missed 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. How is failure success? Are we in the opposite world? How does that happen? Well, let me help you think about it. To miss 9,000 shots, you have to retry after 8,999 misses. To lose 300 games, you have to come back from 299 losses and try again. To miss a potentially game-winning shot 26 times means he had to take that risk of being the GOAT 25 more times. Winston Churchill said, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. What I'm saying is allow yourself to make a mess of things. It's okay. I'm giving you permission right now. Make mistakes. Mess up. Screw up. Allow yourself to get over your shortcomings. Allow yourself to make those mistakes without hating yourself, feeling guilty for it, any of those negative emotions that come with it. Thomas Edison, when asked about how he dealt with each failure when trying to invent the light bulb, famously said, I've not failed. I just found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. What a great perspective. The people I quoted all have the right perspective when looking at their failures. One of my absolute favorite stories is called Maybe. It's a Zen Buddhist story. There's several different variations. Sometimes it involves a Japanese rabbit. Sometimes it involves a polar bear. But the elements of the story remain the same. I'm going to tell you a story about a man who wins a car. He enters a sweepstakes, a lottery. Sometime later, Josh, his name is called, and he wins his car. All his friends and all the strangers gather around are like, aren't you so lucky? That is just the most fantastic thing that ever happened to you. Isn't this so wonderful? You just won a sports car. You should be doing backflips. Aren't you excited? The man stoically, calmly responds, maybe. Sometime later, he's driving that convertible car. He loses control of it. Crashes his car. Breaks both of his legs. He goes to the hospital. His family, his friends, strangers in the hospital that heard about his misfortune, all come to him and say the same thing. Man, you just got to be so unlucky to get in a car accident like that. Isn't that awful that you were in a car accident? Isn't that a terrible thing that you broke both of your legs? Isn't that awful? Again, the man responds, maybe. Later that night, while he's sleeping in the hospital, a massive mudslide comes along, destroys his house completely in a matter of seconds. Nothing is salvageable. All his friends come to him the next morning. Dude, you are so lucky to have been in the hospital. Oh my gosh, aren't you so fortunate to have been here, not your house? You'd be dead right now if you're at home. Isn't that so awesome you're in the hospital? What do you think he said? Maybe. Keep things in perspective. Which of the things that happened to this man were good? Which one was bad? Was there a good or bad thing that happened, or just did things happen? Things happen. I'm going to go off script a little bit. My college mentor at Commencement University used to always say, things turn out best for those who make the best out of the way things turn out. With the right perspective, even the unpleasant things like failure might be good. Now I know you're looking, you're staring at my biceps and my rock hard abs up here. We're in a gym and you've seen me here before. You know I work out kind of regularly. Ask me. Do I like it? Ask me, do I like it? Do I enjoy working out? Ask me that. No. I hate working out. It is the most awful thing ever. You get all sweaty and sticky and tired, and sometimes if you do it hard enough, you feel like throwing up. It's not pleasant. It's not enjoyable. Anyone who says it's enjoyable or they have a good time working out is either lying or delusional. But we all know that the benefits of hard work and exercise are worth putting yourself through that kind of failure. You guys know that muscles only grow when they're pushed to the point of failure. Until the muscles fail, it's time to grow back. There's another real life story I want to share that echoes the sentiment. Imagine yourself a single mother with 2 kids. She has a job that barely helps her make ends meet. One Monday in late summer, this woman goes to her job. She's greeted by her supervisor. The supervisor informs her of a management-directed decision to terminate her position and fires her. She's told to gather her things. She's told to turn in her ID card, turn in her access code, and she's escorted out of the building. She's filled with a variety of negative emotions: anxiety, fear, anger, resentment. How are you going to fire me on a Monday? Can't even let me finish out the week? She goes home distraught, thinking of all the things that she might have to do to make money or to make ends meet for her family. She's hopeless. She's up all night, anxious about what the future will hold. She doesn't get much sleep. But when she wakes up in the morning, she's still feeling those same negative emotions. She turns on the TV, and what she sees shocks and horrifies her. But it also fills her with gratitude, elation, and relief. Her dread of losing her job is now replaced with gratitude. You see, the Monday on which she was fired happened to be September 10th, 2001. And she worked in the North Tower of the World Trade Center. I guarantee you that her outlook that next morning was much different than the outlook she had the day she was fired. Things happen. We can judge them as negative or as good. But are they really that? The thing that you are hoping most for in your life might be the thing that ruins your life. The thing that you find so unpleasant or view as something you don't want in your life might be the very thing to enhance or even save your life. Hindsight's 20/20. Looking forward is much tougher. But with the right perspective, all the things that happen in your life feel different. Every successful person we know, whether it's Oprah, Bill Gates, the dude who made Facebook, Barack Obama, or somebody you know in your own community or home, overcame multiple failures and setbacks to be the success they are. Now, I see a lot of flowers and good guys that really bought for me when I told you about them, right? How many people got a bouquet of dirt? Anyone get a bouquet of dirt for anybody up here? Anybody? Nobody? Why? Because we don't, oh, you got one? Max, right on. Nobody likes dirt. But guess what? Those flowers you bought that are out in the dirt now are going to die. Every beautiful flower has its roots in dirt. No one ever comments on how fragrant the dirt is, though. The seed that the flower grew from is nourished by the unpleasant dirt in which it is placed. A seed is placed in a cold, dark, and damp place. And it's not as glamorous as the petals, but it's absolutely necessary for the growth of that plant. Embrace the dirt rather than fight it. It is what will propel you to success. Who you are is okay. And that's really what I want you to get from tonight. Who you are is absolutely perfect. There's always another chance. Failure is never final. Think about the worst failure you've endured or are currently enduring. Mary Pickford said, if you have made mistakes, even serious ones, What we call failure is not in falling down, but in the staying down. Get back up again. Try again. I teach music, and I'm responsible for teaching a certain curriculum there. But even more than that, what I really want every last one of my students, and every last one of you, even if you've never been in any of my music classes, what I've always wanted you to get is to live your life. I don't want you to get caught up in your regrets or hating yourself for a poor decision you may have made, or a circumstance you find yourself in, or a location you find yourself in. I want you to know that you're loved, you're worthy, you deserve happiness and joy. There's nothing you've done that is so awful that you can't come back from. I want you to know that you can do anything. Your failures, shortcomings, mistakes, poor choices and all, everything that you are is absolutely beautiful and perfect. That will never change. It's okay to have some dirt in your life. Embrace it. Don't make an enemy of it. Without the dirt, you'll never become the beautiful flower. The end of all the places you go echoes this. Dr. Seuss writes, I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play the lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though the enemy may prowl. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to your problems, whatever they are. And will you succeed? Yes, you will, indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Now, I'd love to tell you that at this point in my book, in my reading to my daughter, that she's asleep, and I'm able to kind of tiptoe out there, and kind of just shut the door, and just shut the latch ever so quietly so she doesn't wake up, and go spend some quality time either with my wife or with the PlayStation, whichever's available first. But you know, parents, that's not reality. Especially since the next thing I hear is, Daddy, I want water. Daddy, I'm thirsty. Now I know she's lying. She's not thirsty at all. But the fact is, I failed to put her to sleep. But I'm looking so forward to trying again. I hope you too will enjoy all the retries, all the reboots, and trying again in your life. Swag.